So here we are, ready to begin our next workout. We've started with another Primal Flow evaluation, of course. We're actually sort of working into a couple of different games here. So we're working through 10 lots of ankle, plantar, and dorsiflexion, and then we're going to go into 10 lots of rotation. You can see Shannon, my partner there, has got good tall posture, shoulders packed down and back, hands planted firmly against the floor, just as she would be if we were doing get-ups. Now, what we're doing here is I give only very few communication and cues to her while we're doing this. Her job is to actually mirror me. So, if I move my left hand, she'll move her right hand and so on, so that we're starting to involve a few different senses. Now, you see straight away, we've gotten ourselves a little bit confused here, and she's moving the same as me, not mirroring me. So when we move into figure fours in just a minute, we're doing 5 of these S waves. When we move into the figure 4 position in a second, you can see my face as I go to my right foot and I make her change to the correct side. So now that we've worked through there, you can see straight away, as soon as we've started getting this kind of cooperative mirroring thing going on, there's a little bit of smiling, a little bit of kind of relaxation, and that's really the state we're trying to get into. We work through 5 of these figure 4 positions before we start going into the lunge position. But while we're working through this mirroring game-like concept, something different is going on with our bodies. We're entering the flow state. We're now moving into the figure 4 lunges. We're going to do 5 of these on each side, and it's the same thing. So again, I'm giving her just little cues if I see something that I'm not happy with, but mostly I'm just relying on her having to watch me and do the same thing as me. So I think we've got 1 more on each side to do, and then we're going to move into the same lunge position. We must actually have 1 more. We have 1 more. I can't count. And so now we've got the last one, and then we move into the same lunge position. I give her just a little bit of instruction there, and now we move into cat-camel. So we've got thoracic extension and flexion. Still working from our figure 4 lunge position. We're going to do 3 T-spine waves and then swap sides, and we're going to do this twice. So it's 3 waves on each side times 2. So we're going to repeat this again on the other side, and then we're going to move into the next position. So again, very limited communication from me. Shannon's having to not just do the movement, but concentrate on actually matching me so that the movements are all the same. We move to the last one here, and then when we come back on the other side, we're going to do some ankle mobility work. So these ankle mobility drills, we're going to do 5 little ankle mobilities on each foot. So come to the lunge position, and we're going to rock forward. So the knee goes out over the little toe. Got to make sure that your knee doesn't collapse in, no valgus collapse. Knee tracks out over the little toe, and we're going to work on that ankle mobility. We're going to do 5 rocks forward, and again, we're going to repeat that twice on each side. So don't worry about the little orange cones. That's actually just to tell me whether or not I'm in camera shot or not, because it can get quite confusing when you start moving around as to exactly where the camera's pointing at. We've got 1 more on this side, and then you see I just switch my legs out and I move into a prone position. So we're going to do some Cobra stretches from here. We just sort ourselves out so we're not going to headbutt each other. And I breathe out as I arch up, breathe in as I come down. We're going to do 5 of our Cobra stretches. So this is just giving you an idea for how much lower back movement you've got. You see we're in dorsiflexion. Breathe out as you extend up. Breathe in as you come down. Arms go straight. If your hips come up off the ground, that's fine. We want to go to arms fully straight though. And from there we rock back. So again, into dorsiflexion. This is the start of our quadruped stuff. So we get rocking, creeping, crawling, a whole bunch of different crawling variations. We can move into more weight-supported work, such as push-ups from here. And we move into an on-the-spot creeping variation. So creeping is knees on the ground, and we're doing, we call it an X pattern. I'm touching my opposite shoulder as my contralateral leg comes up off the ground. So we're going to do 5 of these on each side. And then we move into crawling. So crawling is knees off the ground, 4 steps forward, 4 steps back, and we repeat that again. So we go 4 steps forward and 4 steps back, and as we move into this last one, we come to frog, squat, table. So frog is basically like a short position here. It's a squat that's being rotated a bit, and then we arch back. And we're going to do 4 of these. Now, if you look at the difference between our squat positions, I've got some hip issues. I have a torn labrum in my left hip, so I'm not very flexible through my hips. and I don't have the dorsiflexion that Shannon's able to get. So if you look at the difference in our squat positions, she's got a much better squat position than I do because she's got better ankle flexibility and she's got much more hip mobility than I do. But I'm old and damaged, and frankly, everyone should be better than me. So if you see mine and it's worse than that, you've got some work to do. Now, working with our cooperative feel, we're going to do a little game called Ant. So ants work together. The purpose of this game is we're going to start off with the towel stuck between our heads, and we're going to crawl around on the ground. I'm going to give Shannon some directions as to what we're going to do. We're going to crawl backwards and forwards and sideways and turn circles, and there's a punishment. If the towel drops, you have to do push-ups. Unfortunately, I forgot that Shannon's actually got some torn muscles in her rib, and so if the towel drops, it's actually just me who does the push-ups, because she's actually not able to do push-ups at the moment. But what you'll see at the end here is, along with playing our game, and obviously we're getting all the benefits of crawling, we've got some cooperative stuff, you actually forget about what you're doing, you're just concentrating on getting the movement done, entering that flow state. But you'll see here as we start to move around more, the laughter comes out, particularly obviously when I have to do push-ups, and by the time we've done this a little bit, you should be nice and warm. So we like to use this game as a warm-up. It takes about 2 minutes or so to play. After you've done the PFE and a game like Ant, you're ready to train. So here's my push-ups, and after these push-ups, you should be ready to train.